My people. Woo! My people, welcome back to You and I Talk Show. Today, Sunday, March 16th, 2025. Yo, I'm off camera today. Yo, thank you everybody. Thank you whoever is here live and whoever is gonna watch the show after the show. This is exceptional show since we usually don't even do live shows on Sundays. So that's why I call this special Sunday show Sunday Mass Politics. La Messe Politique in French. Misanya Politique Rwanda. Funny story. I was on a show this week. I have discovered a new audience educating Black America, African Americans. Yeah, I have discovered that it's a huge audience of African Americans who really have a lot of curiosity on Africa, on Congo, on Rwanda, and we need to have those conversations. So I thank the Congolese brother who invited me to go and participate in this African American guy who I have actually hosted on my show, Uhuru Dynast, Prince Dynast Amir. His YouTube channel is In Search of Uhuru, right? And I don't know if I can show you. Let me visit. Let me visit. Let me visit YouTube and show you. No, let me visit. Let me visit. You share my screen and visit YouTube, his YouTube channel, and show you. So you could go watch for yourself and watch the conversation that we had on there, and then you can judge for yourself. But I really discovered that there's a huge audience of Black Americans and a serious hunger for information.
All right, so we are here in Accra,
You know, for Black Americans, like this guy. I was very interested in his journey because he, as he says, his channel is in the search of for Uhuru. For us Africans, we understand that quickly because we know what Uhuru means. Most of America doesn't even know what Uhuru means. But for us Africans, especially East Africans, if you speak Kiswahili, even, all the way to Southern Africa, Uhuru, they understand. It's freedom. So in search for Uhuru. So it's like there's a huge audience of people, Black America, African Americans, African Canadians, who will be going back to Africa in search of Uhuru, like Uhuru, which is a great thing. I love it. I admire it. I've hosted this guy on my show, right? But so it's like they need information on Africa, and I think it's imperative that the conversation happen and that they be willing to listen. One thing that I realized on this show is that not Uhuru himself, not Prince Uhuru himself, but some of the guys who are on the show, they were not willing to listen. They were not, listening. Me, I go on these shows in the attitude of I am a teacher because I have done my research, so I'm sharing knowledge and information. I'm also a student, an eternal student, because we're always learning. So I'm listening as much as I'm speaking. But some guys over there were not trying to listen. So, anyways, it's about listening because if you, as Black America, so this was the show. His title talking about Paul Kagame is not Congo's problem.
Don't buy a new car.
Congo's corruption and incompetence is, you know. So I went there and gave my opinion. So I think it's important that if Black America, if you are trying to come back to Africa and you encounter people who have run away from Africa, maybe you should listen. Like if you were going to visit a place, you know, if you are trying to go to Rwanda, for example, I saw even these other guys who were trying to have a show on Rwanda. Actually, they're supposed to have a show on Sunday, and then they canceled the show. I'm like, well, whatever. I have my own show on Sunday then. So it's like Black America who have been to Rwanda, who are interested in Rwanda, who want to go to Rwanda, who have heard so much about Rwanda and Congo right now. So it's like if you want to go and live in a place or invest in a place, don't you want to hear some reviews from people who have run away from this place? Don't you want to hear why people may be running away from a place? If the place was so magnificent, would you ever be encountering people who have run away from that place? Like, let's say, for example, Japan, you know, do you ever encounter Japanese refugees, you know? But as far as Rwandans are concerned, there's so many Rwandans refugees out here. It's so crazy. So don't you like want to hear from people who have run away from the place that you are running to? And let's say you are running to Africa, to a particular country. In this instance, it's Rwanda, right? And you are in search of Uhuru. Are you really finding that Uhuru, that freedom in Rwanda? And this is what we are sharing because as I shared on this show, I'm also in search of Uhuru. I'm also in search of freedom. And that's precisely why I ran away from Rwanda because there's no freedom in Rwanda. You have to be a slave. You have to be a slave. You have to kiss the Kagamistan ass. And if you don't kiss ass, they kill you. This is the punishment. If you challenge the Kagamistan, if you show any intelligence, if you show any independent thinking, you know, people think that democracy is not African. Democracy is African. People forget that Western civilization came to learn in ancient Africa. So all these concepts, democracy, freedom, all these concepts are African. We are people who also love democracy, who want to also be ruled in democracy. And the reality is that the Kagamistan in Rwanda has imposed itself since 1994 and has not allowed anybody else to express themselves or to challenge him and to also be able to lead the nation if that's who the people choose. The Kagamistan is a criminal dictatorship, but some people don't want to hear it out here because they have swallowed the propaganda, so much propaganda because the Kagamistan has paid so much money, And then when they go to Rwanda, they see the superficial Rwanda that they go to Rwanda, they go to Africa as tourists, you know. They go there as tourists, so they can't really see the issue. They don't speak the language, so they have no clue what's going on. And they don't even want to hear the perspective of people who have run away from that place and understand why they have run away from that place. What's really going on? What is it that you don't really understand it, you don't get when, And then people talk about the security in Rwanda. So much security in Rwanda, right? And I'm like, okay, isn't that itself a sign that something is profoundly wrong? Because if this leader is so loved, then why is it that he needs this much security? He's so loved, but then everywhere you go, military, 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 military check, military check, security check. This is a government that has done so well, that has treated its people so well. Why is it that everywhere security and peace and order has to be imposed by the military? That in itself is a huge problem. People go to Rwanda and they don't see this because they're there as tourists in their tourist mind. I even want Black America to change their attitude when they go to Africa, when they go to Rwanda. Don't go there as a tourist. Go there as an owner. You know, when you're visiting a property as an owner versus a tourist who's just staying there and then going back home, it's very different attitude. As an owner, you will notice different things and you will be thinking about how to improve and how to correct things. And what if, as an owner, which is what we are as Rwandans who are born in Rwanda, who our entire lineage is Rwandan, the when we look at Rwanda, we look at it as owners. What is working? What is not working? What can we change? What should we change as owners? And as much as you may admire Rwanda for what it has been able to achieve since 1994, but this is because you are not even educated enough on Rwanda, because Rwanda is an ancient nation and you judge it starting from 1994. That's why you don't understand it. But if you understood that Rwanda is an ancient nation, which has been in existence for thousands of years. It has one language, one culture, one philosophy, one supreme being. And this is why it exists and survives even after something as dramatic as genocide. But you want to attribute the success of all Rwandans to one person, which means that Rwanda would be fragile if it was only built on one individual. Because what happens when that one individual that you think is responsible for the success of Rwanda is not there anymore? Or what happens if he's contested? Huh? Because maybe Rwandans, knowing their 1,000 thousands and thousands and thousands of years history, maybe they think they can even do better than a leader who was imposed by the Americans and who is living off aid and off debt, who can be sanctioned by the international community, and then Rwanda crumbles because they have not been able to build on themselves. A leader who has to go to our fellow Africans, into the neighbors, to invade, to kill, and to plunder, and then build their country based on killing and plundering our fellow Africans. So, do you think this is the leader that represents freedom? You know, because if you are in search of Uhuru, then the question is Rwanda that Uhuru, that freedom that you are looking for? And I'm so sorry to say that no, it is not. So, Black America, man, you are my new target audience. Actually, I'm going to be speaking to you and sharing what I have discovered, and I'm particularly going to be sharing, my research as well, and the spirituality of Rwanda, because this is something that has helped Rwanda exist and survive all along. So my new book is for that purpose, and I went so far back into history, connected Rwanda to ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, showed you the proof within the languages, using Sheikh Anta Diop's knowledge, using the Meduneter and the Meduneter books from Rao Nefer Amen. I would like to give a shout out to Ra Nefer Amen. I can't wait to receive a copy of this new book so I can send a copy to Ra Nefer Amen to show him just how right he is, using the inspiration that I got from his knowledge of the Meru Neter and using the Kinyarwanda language to show Ra Nefer Amen and everyone how he's so right and how all these concepts exist in the Kinyarwanda language. So it's so funny when I went on this show, and I don't know if these people are African Americans or whatever they are. They don't even speak any African language, but they have the audacity to tell me that I may not even be Rwandan. I'm like, yo, it's very simple to verify if someone is Rwandan or not. Talking about my accent, that I have an accent when I speak English, but that's because English is not my language, and I don't care about how I speak English. What matters is that you understand when I speak. And if I have an accent, it's because I speak many languages. And the way to verify if someone is Rwandan is very simple. And this is why the Banyamulenge are Banyarwanda, because they speak the Kinyarwanda language. Each nation in Africa, and this is why the tribes of Rwanda are bogus and false, because the Hutus and the Tutsis and the Twa, they speak one language, which is the Kinyarwanda. So all Rwandans are actually one nation, the original United Nations, my people. one nation speaking one language, and we have a territory, and that is Rwanda. You may find out what it means, and we have one culture, one supreme being. We qualify for being a nation. So this is what makes the Banyamulenge Banyarwanda. So somebody talking about you're not even Rwanda. It's very simple to find out if somebody is Rwandan. The language would be sufficient. The language test. This is how you test Banyarwanda. This is how Banyamulenge cannot hide. They cannot hide that they are Banyarwanda because they don't have their own language. They speak Kinyarwanda. That makes them Banyarwanda. And this is why the tribes, the Hutus and the Tutsis, is bogus, because every other tribe in Africa, in search of Uhuru, when he goes back to Africa, when he becomes a prince, becomes a prince of a particular tribe. That tribe have their own language. In Nigeria, they have so many other tribes. Each tribe have their own language. That's what makes them different tribes, different nations. The original United Nations of Africa, my people. Different nations, one roots, the roots being anyways interneter, the Great Lakes region, which Rwanda and Congo are part of, which is why this is so tragic. The Rwanda, the Kagamistan Kagame has been used by the predators to go against Congo. This is the tragedy, that an African man, an African leader who is smart, who is intelligent, nobody's disputing that, but that he may be used by the predators against our fellow Africans and then be used to go and plunder and kill in millions. This is the problem. The Rwanda, as intelligent and as magnificent of an army that we may have, that it is going to be used against our fellow Africans. It is used against our fellow Africans in Congo. It is used against our fellow Africans in Mozambique. It is used against our fellow Africans in West Africa, in Benin, in Central Africa. It's a tragedy. It should be used to protect Africans, to protect Africans against the predators, not with the predators against Africans. This is the tragedy. So people need to understand this. So this is why I speak, because this has to be denounced. And many Rwandans will not speak, will never speak, because they're scared. And the people also ask me, why am I not scared? So I've finally expressed my philosophy in this book, Imana East, Know Thy Divine Rights. I am not scared because I know my divine rights. Oh my goodness, I forgot to go live on Instagram. Damn. Oh, yo, Instagram, you done miss a whole show. Instagram, you missed the whole show in English, man. I just spoke and spoke and spoke and spoke in English, but I forgot to go live on Instagram because Instagram doesn't go live automatically with this system. It says Instagram system. I don't know why they do that. Ah, man. So, Instagram people, you just miss me speaking in English, man. You know, speaking about Rwanda and Congo. So, let's see if anybody is in the chat. Let's see if anybody has asked any questions, so then I can address those questions, because I was addressing this African American brother who was talking about how Paul Kagame is not the problem in Congo. Congo's corruption and incompetence is. And I'm saying that we analyze the problem in a holistic way. He's not the entire problem, but it doesn't mean that he's not the problem as well. And exposing him is not blaming him or blaming Rwanda. It's simply exposing each role in each part. Kagame has a major role to play in this tragedy. He has been used and he has accepted to be used against Congo, and he has went into Congo to plunder and to kill. And his army, the Kagamistan killing machines army, behind M23, have killed Congolese in millions, and they have raped thousands of women. This has to be exposed and denounced. So he cannot hide and play victims. He's not a victim, he is a collaborator of the predators. It doesn't mean that he bears the entire responsibility. No, he has collaborated. And he has been used and he has accepted to be used because he's a tribalist. He defends the interest of a tiny little tribe minority instead of being a real Pan-Africanist who will look at the interest of Africa. So for the interest of a tiny little minority or a tiny little country called Rwanda or Banyarwanda or Tutsi, he's going to go to war in Congo and cause the death and the destructions of over 10 million Congolese people? Come on. It's unacceptable and we need to denounce it. And me as a Rwandan, I know that I'm part of a very extreme minority of Rwandan people who dare speak, because most Rwandans are slaves and they have chosen to kiss ass. Some guy talking about, why don't you live in Rwanda? If you don't live in Rwanda, you're not a real Rwandan. All right, you're proving my point. Because to live in Rwanda is to become a slave, is to kiss ass of the criminal dictatorship. Nobody is allowed to have freedom of speech. Nobody is allowed to criticize anything. Nobody is allowed to challenge Kagame. And if you do, you die, you go to jail, you become a refugee. So that's what we have become, refugees. Instead of being in jail or instead of dying. People in Rwanda are very submissive and very silent. Nobody will tell you what they think, what they really think. So everybody has to speak the same government official propaganda or else. This is Rwanda. So you want to go back to Rwanda? You want to go and live in Rwanda? Be my guest. Go and live in Rwanda. Go and live in Rwanda. Maybe you will understand how Rwandans are suffering. Yeah, I dare you to give up your American passports. Give up your American passports. Give up your Canadian passports, which I have a Canadian passport, which I'm not giving up to go back to Rwanda, especially not under the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. Never. But I dare you, Americans and everybody else who praises the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda, give up your American passports, so you are not protected anymore by the American Constitution, which is really the best thing that protects you, because at least in America you have the rule of law. You are protected under the law. But in Rwanda, nobody is protected under the law. People have a constitution, but Rwanda is ruled by the president's word. You hear even these Americans, they're like, oh, we go to Rwanda, we want to meet Kagame. If we meet Kagame, our projects will advance. I'm like, you see, even you want to come to Africa and have those privileges. If you meet Kagame, your project will advance. So what happens the day that Kagame is no longer in power? Then what happens to your project? Your project is destroyed and nothing protects you, because it's not a country under the rule of law. It's a country where somebody says and people execute without thinking, without respecting laws. People are just executing somebody's words. That's a very, very fragile country and it will crumble. You see Rwanda suffering under sanctions. Why? Because Rwanda living off aid and debt and help from abroad. How is that a true independent sovereign African country when you exist because you get help from all these people? And why are they helping you? Why are they helping you? Precisely because you are their house nigger. You are their house nigger working against the rest of Africa, being sent into Congo to kill and to plunder, to kill millions of Congolese people while doing propaganda, talking about how you saved so and so and so, calling these children that you can sit in front of them, give them interviews. Who is this child? Mario Nawafal. Who is this child that Kagame is sitting in front of and explaining himself to? Who is he? Huh? Which stake does he have in Rwanda? And all these African Americans who be speaking, talking, promoting a genocidaire as an example, as a role model. What stake do they have in Rwanda? Do you have family? Do you have people in Rwanda? Are you the ones who are going to die in Rwanda? Go ahead, give up your American citizenship and go and live in Rwanda without the American protection. Then you will discover how Rwandans are living under this criminal dictatorship. Then, if your rights are violated, you will have zero protection, zero. You could be in jail right now for simply having a YouTube channel in Rwanda. Many people in Rwanda are in jail for simply having a YouTube channel and showing things that the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan does not want people to see. And then they have the audacity to call these children from wherever this Mario Naufal comes from to come and sit in front of the president of Rwanda without so that he can't challenge him at all. He can't challenge him at all. Where's the Rwandan free media, free independent thinkers challenging him? Where's the African journalist challenging your Pan-Africanist, fake Pan-Africanist Kagame? No one. He does not dare sit in front of a real journalist, a real free thinker. He does not. These are the children that he's sitting in front of. So you Americans looking for freedom, search of Uhuru, going back to Africa to look for freedom, I'm warning you. The criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda is not freedom. Rwandans are not free. Rwanda and Rwandans, we are also still in search of Uhuru. So if you go to Rwanda thinking that you have found your Uhuru in Rwanda, don't say I didn't warn you. So this was just me warning you so that nobody is ever going to say that nobody ever told them. Because no Rwandans will tell you. They'll remain silent because, they're so scared. But me, I have my own philosophy, which I have explained in my new book, which you see over there, Imana East. Know thy divine rights. I know my divine rights. This is why I exist as I exist. And this is why I'm sharing my philosophy in this new book. So I know my divine rights. Know thy divine rights. This is the title of the book. I go from the idea that I already know my divine rights and I know what they have done for me. Now, if you want to know thy divine rights, hey, I got a new book for you, my people. All right. So let me see in the comments if anybody has been in the comments. If not, I'm going to move into French briefly and then move into Kinyarwanda. Let's take the video from Uhuru off the screen. I'm always open to conversation. If anybody want to hear from me, want to interview me, want to have a conversation on Rwanda, Africa, I'm listening. I'm answering questions, not there for empty and pointless debates. I'm there to share knowledge, my research, and my information. So if people don't have that attitude, that's on them. But that is my attitude wherever I go. I go there to share knowledge and information. I go there for bombardement intellectuel, as people know. I go there to teach. I go there to learn, because this is a never-ending journey of teaching and learning, So I don't know what people are doing on these platforms, just screaming and debating for the sake of debating. Really, they have no point. Man, that's not my mission out here. All right, let me go in the comments before I go into the French and Kinyarwanda. Soldier K, most sanctions are dropping tomorrow. Looks like PK is losing it. You see, this is another indication that Rwanda economic mirage. We have interviewed David Himbara on this show, who wrote a book about Rwanda being an economic mirage, how Kagame cooks the books and lies about his economic success while he's plundering the country. So if Rwanda was truly successful in the economically, like for real, why would sanctions be worrying? Sanctions are only worrying because it's built on a fake idea, because it's actually being built on aid and debt. It's so much in debt right now, and then on top of that, it's getting built by going into Congo and plundering and killing our fellow Africans. It is an unsustainable development role model, and this is why we expose it. This is why we talk against it, because this cannot be the development role model for Africa. If any other nation has to develop itself by going to their neighbors to kill and to plunder, Africa is finished. We can't allow the Kagamistan in Rwanda to do that to Congo. So us Rwandans, I'm looking at the interest of the entire continent of Africa. And so it doesn't matter if I have to speak against my own people, against my own nation, against Rwanda, against our uncle KAGA wa Kagamistan. I have to speak. Oh, it's the truth, and it's in the interest of all Africans that this does not become our developmental role model, because it's a wrong role model, my people. Oh, it's so wrong. So goddamn wrong. So let it get sanctioned, let it crumble, let it fall, because it was built on sand, on a false idea, and we shall rebuild, because we are an ancient nation. And it doesn't matter what we go through, we will rebuild and become more magnificent than ever, because Rwanda is an ancient nation. And in this book, I have shown you just how far we go, because I have shown you even the connection of Rwanda to ancient Egypt. So we go way, 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 way back. All right, my people. So that's it. Let's move into French. Sol Jacquet is like, he's getting nervous. Just seeing him these days, he's losing it, totally unhinged. Yo, in Kinyarwanda. I'm gonna play the speech that he's making in Kinyarwanda that I just saw on Twitter. Actually, maybe I should play it right away. Why don't I play it right away? Why don't I play it right away and translate it for my English speaking people, my people? Eh? Why don't I do that? Huh? I'll play it and then I'm going to translate it for my English speaking people. hmm The Kagamistan speech where he is telling Rwandan people that they are about to suffer. Huh? That they're about to suffer. Look at this. And this is Samuel Becker Bianchi. He's a Rwandan journalist who has also had to run away from Rwanda precisely because he's a journalist who asked questions. He's like, Rwandans today are now put in a position to applaud a man who has built his power on fear. Today, Kagame telling the citizens to tighten their belts, but he's been plundering the country for all these years. Now he's telling citizens to tighten their belt. He has been oppressing Rwandans, preventing people from cultivating their own. And now Rwandans, they can't say nothing. They're made to applaud their oppressor. A country ruled of fear. Yo, soon enough you will discover what Rwanda is about, my people. Soon enough you will discover. And then now he's even speaking Swahili. Let me play
na
it
haki
on
ya kupigania.
Swahili because you will hear.
Biraza kutuvuna bimwe mu giswahili bita.
People who are talking about how I'm not even Rwandan. So let me translate the Kinyarwanda language straight from Kagame to you English speakers. She. Kagame just said that is about to become very difficult. Things are about to become very difficult. Biraza kutuvuna.
Biraza kutuvuna bimwe mu giswahili bita kufunga mkanda.
Biraza kutuvuna. That which in Swahili sometimes they call funga mukanda. So he's about to speak in Kiswahili now. Actually, this is one of my other mission, to teach Black America, African American, an African language. And one language that I will teach them is Kinyarwanda and Kiswahili, because Kinyarwanda and Kiswahili are very close. This is what actually makes the Kiswahili language profoundly African, because although it has some influences from the Arab, from being the coastal language, but it still has so much from the Abantu, from the rest of Africa, and it's so close to Kinyarwanda. So that's why I'm going to teach you Kinyarwanda and teach you Kiswahili at the same time, because even when Rwandans speak, they speak in Kinyarwanda, and then sometimes they speak in Kiswahili as well, because Kiswahili is so close to Kinyarwanda. So many words in Kiswahili, Rwandans who speak Kinyarwanda, they can understand the Kiswahili. And this is why even the Kagamistan right here, right now, he's about to speak in Swahili, and he's already speaking in Swahili, talking about funga mukanda. So people who understand Swahili will understand what funga mukanda means, and Kinyarwanda will understand what it means. Now, for you, English Kinyarwanda speakers, funga mukanda is tighten the belt. Things are getting difficult, so we must tighten the belt. I don't know if the expression exists in English. You let me know. It's your language, your culture. You let us know. I'm telling you from my language, my culture, which you can adopt, which my new book is showing you the beautiful side of our language, of our culture, that you can voluntarily adopt as well, because it's so profoundly powerful and spiritual and ancient, all the way to ancient Kemet. All right, let's continue to hear the Kagamistan.
Kufunga mkanda mnajua? Unafunga mkanda ni ukwitegura, ni nko kwitegura inzara kugira ngo ipatare wambaye itagwa hasi kubera ko washonje.
So he talks about funga mukanda. Do you know? He's speaking in Swahili. Funga mukanda, unajua. Funga mukanda is that when, for example, you are about to face hunger. If you're about to face hunger, you need to tighten your belt, because you're going to face hunger and you're going to become skinnier. So if you don't have a belt, if you don't tighten your belt, your trousers are going to fall. Mhm. My people. So the emperor is telling you himself that he's naked. Pretty much the Kagamistan is naked. And he's telling you right here, right now, his pants are about to fall. He's telling Rwandans to tighten their belt. But he has been plundering Rwanda, taking the money, putting in his own company. He owns everything in Rwanda and employs everyone. Anybody who tries to start a business in Rwanda has to have his permission, which is why Rwanda is built on sand. Because what happens if he's not there? And you only have a business, you only exist because he said you can have a business. And then he destroys other people who have a business that he cannot control. You know, he has been called a mafia by the Regara family because he has destroyed their business because he could not control it. So good luck. Give up your American citizenship and go live in Rwanda, start a business in Rwanda. And Kagame comes and tells you, I need 50% of your business. Matter of fact, I need 80%. Oh, actually, I need 90%. Oops, I need the entire business. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? If you say something, you die, or you go to jail, or you become a refugee. Now you'll be out here, eh? So now, after doing all these things to Rwandans, millions, silently resenting his policies, his politics, and then going into Congo and plundering. Now he's telling people that they need to tighten their belt because they're about to face hunger. Why are people about to face hunger? And then you see the writing over there on the wall. It's saying, kwegera abaturage. After many years of gukandamiza abaturage, huh? Kunyaga abaturage. Now he's talking about kwegera abaturage. Kwegera abaturage is getting closer to the population. After many years of enslaving Rwandans, now he thinks of getting closer to the population. You should think of getting closer to your population before you enslave them. before you get sanctioned from the international community. He disrespected Rwandans because he was relying on the international community. Now that the international community is dumping him, he's telling Rwandans, "Oh, kwegera abaturage. I'm becoming closer to my population now." Excuse you. Hmm.
unafunga mkanda,
Tighten your belt. And the
urabyumva?
slaves, they are applauding.
Mwebwe twebwe
Slaves,
abanyarwanda
they're being
twitegure
told they're
gufunga
going to
mkanda.
suffer hunger. You Rwandans, you're being told, tighten your belt. They applaud, they wave
Sio
flags.
kufunga mkanda peke yake, ni kupigania uhaki wetu.
And then he's telling them it's not even just about tightening your belt, it's about fighting. I don't even know what we are fighting for. But uhaki, I don't know what uhaki is. People who speak Swahili can tell me what uhaki is, but my Swahili is limited. So that Swahili that he just spoke, that we must fight for uhaki, I don't know what uhaki is, but it's like he is trying to get the entire country to fight his war. But it's not Rwanda's war. It's Kagame's war. He's the one who has been relying on the military, going into Congo, invading and plundering. So it's not Rwanda's war. It's only his war. But he's trying to tell the entire country that it's our war and we must fight this war. And that we're about to get killed. So are we gonna get killed or are we gonna get fight? So he is actually warning people that he will fight and he will fight and he will fight and he will go down with the maximum damage. And this we already knew. This is part of the Rwandan culture. If you learn your history, how Rwandans fight and how Rwanda is a warrior nation and the warrior culture, this is exactly how it's supposed to go down. And I've been telling Congolese people that the worst is yet to come because the Kagamistan will go down fighting and he will give people the war that they have never seen, and he will escalate and escalate and escalate. No matter how much the war is lost, he will fight even more and cause even more damage. This is the philosophy. So if people are listening, listen. If you don't want to listen and this happens and it causes maximum damage, don't nobody tell you that I had told you these things, because I want to avoid the catastrophe by telling you things as they are. My people, Rwandans applaud.
Lazima tupiganie uhaki wetu.
Lazima tupiganie uhaki. That is again Swahili, and I have no idea what uhaki means, but he's saying it is imperative that we fight for this uhaki, whatever uhaki is. Swahili speakers, please tell me what uhaki is.
Tuna haki ya kupigania.
So he's saying that we have haki. We got haki. I don't know what haki is. That we have to fight for this haki. It's a Swahili word that I don't know, but I'm sure I'm about to learn. Tell me in the comments, my people. Let me check the comments if somebody been telling me what haki is. You're a soldier. You speak Swahili. Tell me what haki is. Do you know what haki is? Haki ni iki mu Kinyarwanda ngo mbibwire. So anyways, let's continue. But apparently we are supposed to fight for that haki. All right, that's it. That was just a short extract that I wanted to show you guys before I go into the Kinyarwanda. I'm going to repeat it in the Kinyarwanda as I start my Kinyarwanda language. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So Black America, I dare you, I dare you, give up your American citizenship, give up your American passports. If you truly support the Kagamistan in Rwanda and you think it's not a problem, Congo is the problem, Rwanda is so wonderful, so beautiful, and you love it so much, I dare you, give up your American citizenship and go and live in Rwanda and then tell us how it is. You know, tell us how it is, because it's very easy to talk about how Kagame is great, but You have no idea how Rwandan people are suffering. So give up your American citizenship and go and live in Rwanda as a Rwandan. And then we shall see how beautiful Rwanda is for you. And then, yeah, thank you. All right. So let me move into French here. Where's my transition video? Alors, la famille, on passe en français, la famille. Merci, merci, merci d'être là. Alors, on va d'abord enlever le truc là. On va l'enlever du show. Ah, voilà, voilà, voilà la famille. On passe en français. Aujourd'hui, on est dimanche, le 16 mars 2025. On passe en français. On parle un peu du Congo et du Rwanda et puis on continue. Et si vous avez des questions, on en parle aussi. Et puis, on passe en Kinyarwanda tout juste après. Merci, merci la famille. Alors, la famille, on est ensemble ou on est ensemble? Oh, la famille, qu'est-ce que vous dites? Qu'est-ce que vous dites? Je vais retourner dans les comments, voir s'il y avait des comments que j'ai ratés. Alors, tout le monde parle des sanctions contre le Kagamistan au Rwanda, le Kagamistan au Rwanda qui est en train de jouer les victimes, alors que c'est lui qui a envahi le Congo, c'est lui qui a causé des millions et des millions de morts. Ces soldats ont violé des milliers de femmes congolaises. C'est inacceptable. Ils ont commis génocide au Congo sous plusieurs prétextes farfelus, mais là, vraiment, le monde entier a fini par comprendre grâce à l'activisme des Congolais de tous les côtés. Congolais de tous les côtés, que ce soit les Congolais au pouvoir ou les Congolais opposés au pouvoir, au moins les vrais Congolais là, ils sont tous d'accord sur une chose, c'est que le Kagamistan au Rwanda là, c'est un sérieux problème pour toute l'Afrique et surtout pour le Congo. Alors cette semaine, je remercie un frère congolais qui m'avait invité pour aller éduquer les Noirs américains là, parce que justement j'avais parlé aux Congolais, je leur avais dit qu'il faut absolument chercher à avoir l'audience des Noirs américains parce que il faut qu'ils comprennent les enjeux. Et si les Noirs américains comprennent les enjeux, ben ils vont s'impliquer dans la politique américaine et la politique américaine va changer. Et si la politique américaine change envers le Congo, si tout le monde sait c'est quoi le vrai problème, parce que là, dans le show, c'était un Noir américain qui était en train de dire que Kagame, c'est pas un problème. Le problème, c'est le Congo. Et moi, j'étais allée leur éduquer donc pour leur dire que chacun a sa part de responsabilité. Et Kagame, le Kagamistan, a une très grande part de responsabilité. Donc, on expose la part de responsabilité du Kagamistan et de Kagame. Ça ne veut pas dire que certains dirigeants au Congo ont leurs responsabilités. Ça ne veut pas dire que la communauté internationale n'a pas aussi ses responsabilités, mais chacun ses responsabilités. Alors ici, on parle de la responsabilité du Kagamistan, du Rwanda au Congo. Et c'est ça qu'on expose. Et c'est ça qui doit cesser parce que c'est une grande, vaste responsabilité. Et dorénavant, plus jamais, quand on parle de plus jamais aucune nation africaine ne doit se comporter ainsi, envahir, piller, tuer nos propres frères africains pour se développer, pour s'enrichir, pour enrichir ses dirigeants, tout en prétendant d'être des sauveurs de travail pour son peuple. Dorénavant, plus jamais. Donc, c'est ouvert. J'ai appelé ce show la messe politique parce que c'est dimanche exceptionnellement et on est en live. Donc, c'est la messe, oh, c'est la messe, oh, la messe politique. Donc, bienvenue à la messe politique. Ceux et celles qui veulent participer dans le live, s'il vous plaît, le micro est ouvert, c'est open mic. J'ai mis le lien dans la description du show. Je ne sais pas si tout le monde peut le voir. Le show est diffusé sur YouTube et sur Instagram. Et j'avertis les gens de Instagram que justement le show, quand ça fait 1 heure que c'est en train de broadcast sur Instagram, ça se coupe automatiquement sur Instagram. Donc, si vous êtes sur Instagram et que vous voulez tout de même continuer à nous suivre, si vous voyez que le show se coupe après 1 heure, rejoignez-nous sur YouTube. All right, la famille. Donc, continuons le show sur YouTube et sur Instagram. Jean Valjean, I see you. I see you. Bonjour Louise. Jean Valjean, ça c'est le Jean Valjean des Misérables. Hein? Ah, j'adore ce film, j'adore ce film. Ayana Mahano, I see you, I see you, I see you. Alors, parlons de cette question en français avant de passer en Kinyarwanda. Donc, Congo et Rwanda, nous sommes le même peuple. Nous avons plus en commun et nous avons les mêmes aspirations. Malheureusement, on voit le Kagamistan et son régime en train de diviser les peuples et de nous monter les uns contre les autres. C'est le Kagamistan avec ses mensonges qui a servi les prédateurs internationaux et qui a été utilisé pour aller tuer et piller au Congo. Ensuite, bien sûr, il parle il invente tout genre d'excuses pour expliquer ses raisons, toutes des raisons farfelues qu'on a réfutées, qui sont profondément réfutées par plusieurs recherches et tout ça là. Donc, il a été découvert. Et là, j'ai l'impression que vraiment nous assistons à sa fin. Mais je vous avertis, comme je vous ai déjà averti, que à sa fin là, c'est là même qu'il va vraiment essayer de causer le maximum de chaos, le maximum de dégâts, plus de chaos et plus de dégâts. Quand il verra que c'est sa fin là, c'est là vraiment qu'il va tout escalader et faire le maximum de chaos. Et c'est ce qu'on voit qui est en train d'arriver. Il a escaladé la guerre. Hein, il est en train d'augmenter la pression de la guerre. Hein. La guerre qu'il fait là, il a complètement augmenté le son, le volume, si on peut dire. Hein. Il est allé au Congo là, il a vraiment, vraiment upgrade son level. C'est-à-dire qu'avant là, le M23, les histoires des gens là qui s'appellent le M23, là, ils n'étaient pas aussi advanced qu'ils sont devenus aujourd'hui. Hein? Non, mais le Kagamistan est devenu trop advanced au Congo, quoi. Pourquoi? Parce que justement, il sait que ça arrive à sa fin et que donc, il doit increase le feu. Il doit increase le feu, si je peux dire. Et puis donc, en faisant son increase de feu, là, eh ben, il va augmenter la guerre. Il va essayer de faire encore le maximum de chaos possible. Donc, soyez avertis, la famille, soyez avertis afin que vous soyez préparés, parce que le Kagamistan va essayer de causer le maximum de chaos. Oh, alors je vois un frère qui ose venir nous parler. On va le mettre dans le show, Alors la famille, soyez patients avec moi. Parce que le studio là, il aime trop blaguer avec moi. Ah, voilà. Je pense que là, on l'a. Là, on l'a. Je le mets dans le show. Donnez-moi 2 secondes seulement. Monsieur Omkal, vous êtes là?
Ah oui, je suis là. Vous pouvez m'attendre?
Oui,
Salut à
oui,
tout
oui,
le monde.
oui, oui.
Salut. Hello, Jambo, Kwaote. You know, Louise, I'm fluent in Swahili. You know, I'm from Kivu, eastern part of Congo. And we are
Oh,
actually,
please.
I don't know if you know, we are the one who, the biggest population in Nyamirambo. You know, in Kigali, Nyamirambo is a bigger part where they speak Swahili, right?
I know.
So a lot of people in Nyamirambo, they are actually originally from Congo.
Yo, I know. That's my hood right there.
Really? You're from Nyamirambo as well?
So you're going to translate for us. You're going to translate for us.
Yes.
So Kagame now has reached the level of speaking Kiswahili, eh?
Swahili.
Who
I
is he
know.
speaking to? Who is he speaking to?
I think, Kagame on one point, when it's come to PR, propaganda, he's
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah. He's
He has
very
been
good.
trying for live and work in that, so he knows. So probably he was trying to, to send a message also so that the whole East African community and the Congo Swahili area, they may know what he's saying.
And
So
Museveni and Ruto in Kenya as well.
yes, so
Because Ruto and Museveni in Kenya are with the Kagamistan in Rwanda. Let's
yes.
not forget.
Yes, we know that. Yes. So ile kufunga mkaba, yes, you got that.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Uh-huh.
uhaki. So he doesn't have right, but he's portraying as if they're gonna fight for their rights. That's what means uhaki wetu, our right. Yes, that's what he's trying to say.
Which right
But
which right have
which
been
right does
violated? Whose rights have been
that
violated?
That the thing, it's Congolese right which have been violated. Right to live freely, right to live
Wow.
peacefully in our country. People are being unalived in Goma, in Bukavu. Man, if I send you videos, pictures, man, it's terrible. It's terrible what the Kagamistan is doing. But luckily, a lot of Congolese knows. We know that it's not all Rwandan, but it's a Kagamistan. So
This
we
is a very old tactic of accusing your adversary exactly what you're doing.
you're doing,
Because
yeah,
he's doing this in Congo
yeah.
and Congo is resisting. You're the one who are fighting for your uhaki. Is it uhaki?
Yeah, Uhaki, yes. We are the one
And
who
then
fight.
it's like we are the ones who are fighting for uhaki. But Congo has not invaded Rwanda.
That's the thing. That's the thing with Kagamistan. They are they are master manipulators. They are good in manipulation. You know that.
Yeah. So what do you
Yeah.
think about these Black Americans and African Americans and the show that you invited me to go on? And I'm actually now discovering that Black America is going to be a huge audience, even for myself, because they really need so much
Yeah.
information.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, some of them have been sold on propaganda for a long time on Rwanda. So, and the stage of if somebody has believed something for long, to give it up on that what he has believed, it doesn't come easily. But step by step, since I've been, appearing on that show, what gave me even the courage to appear on that show, it's the first time when I heard the way how they were talking about Rwanda and Kagamistan. I was like, wow, these people are lost. I was like, I made it my mission to go there with facts, with references, so that they can find them for themselves. And there are those who, after they heard me for the first time, they ask for my email so that we can do follow-ups so that we can do follow-ups. And they've come. I've sent some your video, like your interview with Judy River. I've sent
Hmm.
a lot to them. I've sent the interview of Judy River and James Mnyandinda, yeah, and
Hmm.
and many other interview. And I've even the books which I have. I've even made a few, scan like of five page so that to show them references of the book they can buy and read. And a few in email, they've been telling me, man, thank you. You've opened our eyes. We never thought about this. We never thought about it. So step by step, they will understand. But there is that guy particular, the guy who was trying to portray you as if you're not rather. You can see even in the comments, a lot of people are saying that this guy is shallow minded, he's shallow
That's
minded. He
so
doesn't,
funny.
yeah. So, but
But you
step
know
by
what?
step,
Sometimes even Rwandans themselves they wonder if I'm Rwandan. They wonder if I'm Rwandan because of the way that I've been
the
so
courage.
outspoken.
Mm.
They're like, "Are you even Rwandan?" Because no Rwandans are daring, right? So where are you even getting the balls to speak? And then you're calling him your uncle. I'm like, yeah, he's my uncle. But now if you have a crazy uncle, you gotta tell him. Oh.
Yes. Yes, even if he's your uncle, we gotta tell him to his face, like, uncle, this is not right to do. you know,
This
because
is not right. You are destroying our country. You're destroying
yeah,
our future because you are making us enemies with Congo, the whole Africa. You are
yeah,
killing our fellow Africans. It's
yeah,
not right. Uncle KAGA or Kagamistan, even if he's my uncle, I have to tell him. So
that's
even
true.
Rwandans, sometimes they're like, Louise, are you even Rwandan?
Louise is Rwandan. He's just a courageous Rwandan, you know? Yeah,
Ah,
that's,
it's so
that's
funny,
okay.
man. Oh, yo, were we not speaking in French? How did we get in English? This is what
Ah,
happens when you speak both
je vous ai,
languages.
je vous ai amené en anglais, mais nous pouvons toujours parler en français. Ça va maintenant là. Là, oui. Comme je
Oh,
voulais que
bien
les gens en
français, oh.
anglais.
Et les
Ok.
Américains sont là que mon accent en anglais, là, est-ce que même je suis rwandaise? Quoi. Non, c'est mon accent en anglais, là.
C'est ça, c'est ça. Mais quand même, merci Louise pour le jour, comme vous êtes venu. Là, ça montre que ce n'est pas seulement moi qui suis congolais, qui parle ou qui essaie d'exposer Kagame. Ça le démontre qu'il y a aussi des Rwandais qui ont le courage d'affronter Kagame ou bien de l'exposer, de dire la vérité. Vraiment, grand merci. Je sais
Non,
que
on est ensemble vraiment,
pour
et
les-
puis on est ensemble dans la vérité. Et beaucoup de Rwandais connaissent la vérité, mais
oui, ils ne
c'est
savent pas.
juste que c'est la terreur. C'est la
Oui,
terreur. Ouais.
je sais. Je sais. Merci. Je sais que pour le débat d'aujourd'hui, ils m'ont finalement envoyé le message qu'ils vont le rapporter. Donc, c'est mieux, c'est encore mieux. On va mieux se préparer pour aller les terroriser.
En tout cas, qu'ils sachent que moi, je suis là pour les bombardements intellectuels. Hein.
Oui, oui, je sais, je sais. On va, mais quand même, ce que j'ai vu avec, c'est l'agent vraiment du Kagamistan qui est basé au Rwanda. Donc, là, bon, et puis ça sera intéressant parce que ce sera peut-être nous trois, ou peut-être il y aura quelqu'un d'autre de sa part, nous quatre, mais avec la méthode, et ce n'est pas comme, at such of Uhuru, c'est un peu crazy. You know? Avec le Sky, là, ils essaient
Non,
de...
c'est la folie. Hein. Ils
Oui,
veulent rien écouter, là. C'est des enfants, on dirait.
il essaie de déstabiliser, mais on le comprend. C'est parce qu'il n'a pas des arguments, alors il essaie un peu de déstabiliser, mais quand on se calme, tout le monde peut voir. Même dans les commentaires, on disait ce type, mais qu'est-ce qu'il raconte? On doit le chasser du panel parce qu'il ne sait rien. Yeah, yeah.
En tout cas, les autres, là, je leur avais dit que je ne serais pas disponible dimanche prochain. Mais bon, si tu es là, on ne sait jamais. Peut-être que je
Moi,
vais faire du temps. Ça dépend de quelle heure c'est. Hein. Parce
moi,
que je
moi,
ne sais pas si c'est East Coast Time, West Coast Time. Quand ils disaient de l'heure, là, je ne savais même pas c'était à quelle heure.
oui. Je pense que c'est East Coast Time.
Ah.
Oui, c'est East Coast Time. Donc, mais moi, c'est pour le Congo, je serai là.
All right.
Pour le
Moi,
Congo,
je
je
suis
serai
là
là.
pour la Mahat. Pour la Mahat,
Ouais,
là, c'est la
en tout cas.
vérité. Et dans
Oui,
la Mahat, on est tous ensemble. C'est comme ça même que je
oui,
suis avec le Congo. Je suis dans la Mahat. Donc, quand on est dans la Mahat, là, on est tout simplement du côté de la vérité.
c'est la
Et puis,
vérité.
c'est
Oui.
tout. Mhm.
Oui. Merci,
Merci,
Louis.
merci. Oh.
Merci. Bye.
Alors, ok, le frère est parti. On va l'enlever du show et puis on continue la famille. Merci donc, merci d'être là, la famille. Alors, on va continuer et puis on va continuer. Je vais voir s'il y a un commentaire en français. S'il n'y a pas de commentaire en français, je vais continuer directement en Kenya. Donc, la famille Congo, on est ensemble. Et on est ensemble parce que moi, personnellement, moi, Ausares, Louise Uwacu, j'ai décidé d'être dans la Mahat. Je suis dans la Mahat. Mon nouveau livre là, c'est magnifique. C'est pour vous expliquer ma philosophie. C'est-à-dire que je connais mes droits divins, donc toi aussi connais tes droits divins. Je parle de Imanaïste. Donc, les autres sont tous ceux qui sont, moi je suis Imanaïste. Et donc, j'explique Imana scientifiquement, spirituellement, culturellement, historiquement. Ah, c'est magnifique. Oh. Ça va être vraiment un plaisir pour moi de vous présenter ce livre. Donc, merci à tous ceux qui sont là. On va passer en kinyarwanda. My people, tugere mu kinyarwanda. Nikos. Ngo rero ngo turi muri misa nye politike. Ninde uhari se? Nta muntu uhari kubera ko nta muntu wari uzi ko ndi bukore show. Nta muntu wari uzi ko ndi bukore show. Ndabatunguye nkora live cyumweru. Wapi nta muntu uhari. Yo. So, iyi live rero tuyitepinze ku cyumweru ku itariki ya 16 Werurwe 2025. Kuri uyu munsi rero duhere kuri Uncle Kaga wa Kagamistan. Mperuka kujya muri bombardement intellectuel yo kubombarda abanyamerika. Urumva se umukongomani abakongore barantumiye bati Louise please uzaze kubombarda. Batusabwe kuza kudufasha. Can you imagine ko bambajije ngo nze kubafasha? Yo, nanjye ndavuga nti it will be my pleasure, it will be my honor kujya kubafasha guhangana n'ubujiji. Ko hanze aha ngaha hariho ubujiji bwinshi cyane. Rero na discoverinze ko mu banyafurika na American hariyo ubujiji bwinshi. Iyo audience y'abanyamerika nayihagurukiye. Nari narabwiye abakongore kandi ko bagomba no kubatagetinga nabo bakabahagurukira kubera ko bashaka kugaruka muri Afurika. Bashaka kugaruka muri Afurika, reka rero tubabwire iyi Afurika uko imeze kuko twebwe twarayihunze. Ese twahunze iki? Ntimushaka se kumva bayihunze impamvu bayihunze? Nuko rero nababwiye nabaskurinze bya hatari ku bya Kagamistan. Ndi bubereke mu kanya, ndi bubereke link. Duhere rero kuri ibi ngibi twahereyeho niba ari mu cyongereza mu gifaransa.
bimwe mu giswahili
Uncle Kaga wa Kagamistan ageze aho tuvugisha mu giswahili wana. Ibi ni ibiki? Niko ndi umunyarwanda. Yo, nakubise bombardement intellectuel abanyamerika batuyunguze umunyarwanda. Ngo bamenyereye abanyarwanda, ngo basingiza Kagamistan gusa, ngo bafite n'utudarapo tw'u Rwanda, ngo abanyarwanda bose ngo baba barimo bakisinga hasi ya Kagamistan. Bati rero umunyarwanda udasingiza Kagamistan, udafite akadarapo k'u Rwanda muri profile ye, ati si uwo ni umunyarwanda. Ya, twasetse twatembagaye. Niko abanyarwandakazi. Ngo mwarafobaganye, ngo mwabaye abafobaganye isi yose, ngo ku buryo ngo utasingiza Kagame nturi umunyarwanda. Nababwiye nti dore rero iyo niyo mpamvu twabahunze. Kubona umuntu adashobora kubaho mu gihugu cye kandi tuvuga ngo turi muri repubulika. Repubulika n'ubuyobozi bukorera abaturage. Turi muri demokarasi, ubuyobozi bukorerwa abaturage bushyirwa abaturage, ariko umuturage akaba atabasha kuvuga icyo atekereza ku bakozi be, abayobozi be. Reka tubahunge maze tubarekere u Rwanda rwanyu muyobora nk'abidishyi. Iyi myaka yose rero abidishyi ibyo mwakoze byose barikirije bati karamwe mwidishyi. None uruhu rw'umwidishyi rwamumiyeho. None umwidishyi, umwami w'abidishyi ageze aho avuga mu cyongereza, niba ari mu cyongereza niba ari mu giswahili, ngo batapigania nini. Ngo nibazirike umukandara ngo inzara igiye kubica. Kagamistan iyi myaka yose arimo asahura anyaga abanyarwanda. Umunyarwanda yiterera imyaka akayirandura kugira ngo atabasha kubaho, atabasha kwitunga. Umunyarwanda yari asanzwe yarishwe n'inzara, yarananutse umukandara uziritse, none arakomeza gusabwa ngo agomba kuzirika umukandara. Atangiye no kubitubwira mu giswahili, kandi gahunda ndi umunyarwanda ari we wayizanye. Ibi biswahili arimo arabibwira bande? Umukongomani rero avuye hano kumbwira ati arimo arabwira East African Community yose. Ni kumbe arimo arabwira ba Muhozi na ba Ruto. ageze aho kutubwira mu giswahire. My people, dukomeze tubyumve.
Vita kufunga mkanda. Kufunga mkanda mnajua? Unafunga mkanda ni ukwitegura inzara kugira
ati ngo ni nko twitegura inzara sha. Banyarwanda banyarwandakazi, uwabicishije inzara iyi myaka yose mumukomera amashyi mumuririmba. Cyakoze shaho banyarwanda banyarwandakazi, baravuga ngo le peuple a des gens qui méritent. Abanyarwanda bigize intama, inka cishwaha, umuntu akabicisha inzara akabarondurira imyaka. Uvuze bakeya bake cyane, intwari z'u Rwanda, intwari z'u Rwanda Cyuma, intwari z'u Rwanda Karasira, intwari z'u Rwanda Mushayidi, intwari z'u Rwanda zikanyungwa zigafungwa, abanyarwanda bagahinduka abafobaganyi bakigira abafobaganyi kugeza kuri uyu munsi ku itariki ya 16 Werurwe 2025 kuri karandiriye yabaje gusenya civilization yacu. Uwabicisha inzara arababwiye ngo inzara igiye kongera ibice, mumukomeye amashyi. Muracyakoma amashyi. Kandi kera ibi bintu nabyanditse no muri iki gitabo gishyashya cyanjye, iyo umwami yabaga ari umwami mu Rwanda hakaza inzara, ari nayo filozofi ya ancient Egypt, ko umwami agomba kuba ari usarura, ariyo concept ya Ausares. Umwami ataza n'ubukire, prosperite, umusaruro, bakamukorera kudeta. Ariko Kagamistan amaze imyaka n'imyaka nta musaruro, ahubwo abica, abakandagira, abahonyora, abanyaga, mukamukomera amashyi. Imyaka yose amaze muri kunyaga umuturage, none uyu munsi yaje arimo arababwira ngo kwegera umuturage. Kwegera umuturage aje kubabwira ngo kwegera umuturage aje kubabwira aho mugiye kwicwa n'inzara, funga imikanda ngo mugiye kwicwa n'inzara, ngo aho niho mugiye kwegerana mu nzara. Nago mwegeranye mu bukire mu gihe yabasahuraga mu nzara. None hatangiye no kuvuga ibiswahire n'imyaka yose yamaze avuga iki ngo ndi umunyarwanda. Abanyarwanda baracyamukomera amashyi. Rero banyarwanda banyarwandakazi bakimukomera amashyi aho kumwama, aho kumutera inyanya. Muzicwa n'inzara kubera ko yarababwiye ngo mugiye kwicwa n'inzara, mukoma amashyi. Inkoma amashyi, karibu mwidishyi, karame mwidishyi, muracyamukomera amashyi mwidishyi.
ngo ipatare itagwa hasi kubera ko washonje, unafunga mkanda. Urabyumva? Twebwe abanyarwanda
ntimwibeshye, atangiye avuga ati mwebwe, noneho arigarura ati twebwe. Muri make ati yiwe naye mwebwe, twebwe abanyarwanda ni twebwe tugomba gufunga umukanda, but no, ni mwebwe, kuko we yarariye, yarasahuye, arabyibushye cyane bihagije. Urumva se ntago azananuka. Mwebwe banyarwanda banyarwandakazi ni mwebwe, yari yarasahuye, yarari muri kunyaga, gahunda ye yari kunyaga umuturage, yarabanyaze, mwateye imyaka arayirandura, abica kwegera umukandara ngo mwebwe banyarwanda ni mwebwe mubwirwa, mugiye kwicwa n'inzara, mufunga umukanda. Habe no kubabwira ati mwirwaneho, mwibohore ubwo buyobozi bwabicishije inzara. Ari wowe arashaka ko mupfana, ati turwane, ati ngo ni twebwe twatewe. Umukongomani amaze kudusobanurira ko iriya jambo ry'igiswahire ntumva ngo bisobanura ngo ni uburenganzira bwabo. Ibaza umuntu wagiye guharanira uburenganzira muri Kongo bw'abakongore, i Rwanda abantu barahindutse abacakara. Abanyarwanda ni abacakara, ni abakene, ariko ngo akambuka imipaka ngo agiye muri Kongo ngo guharanira uburenganzira bw'abakongore. None uyu munsi arabwira abanyarwandakazi, mwebwe mu giswahire ngo ni mwebwe mugiye gufunga umukandara kuko mugiye kwicwa n'inzara, kandi mugomba gupfana nawe kuko yagezweho, arashaka ko mumufasha kurwana urugamba rwe, ngo mugapfana nawe murwana. My people, ndabagira inama yo kumwihakana, yo kumugendera kure, yo kumwishwitura, ndabagira inama yo kutumviriza amabwiriza ye, iyo mwayumva akinjira mu gutwi kumwe asohokera mu kundi gutwi, nimuyakurikize, nimwishore mu ntambara, nimugire umuntu muhohotera, nimujye kumurwanirira. Iyi myaka yose yarabanyaze, yari ari muri gahunda kunyaga abaturage, ntago yigeze yegera abaturage. Niyo mpamvu uyu munsi akereye kubyandika ngo kwegera abaturage. Iyo aza kuba yarabegereye, ntago kuba akeneye kubyandika, ntago ari kuba akeneye kubihindura slogan, aba yarabikoze. Arabuzuza muri stade yubatse aho kugira ngo yubake umuntu, yubatse stade. Mwariye muri iyo stade yabagaburiye, yabaranduriye imyaka, arangije abakandagira hejuru. Gahunda yari kandagira ku muturage, yishingikirije ngo kuri ba matsigu nibo bari bamutunze bamuha byose. Kumuha byose nibyo byamwororaga bigatuma bakandagira ku muturage. None uyu munsi umucakara mu mutwe, umutindi ku mutima, bamatse ibihugu, ba bosi be, uyu nguyu ni umuhutu wabamatse ibihugu. Arahakwa muri filozofi y'abahutu n'abatutsi, yarahatswe, yagiye guhakwa kwamatse ibihugu, agahindukira akajya kwica abandi bahutu bene wabo, akajya kwica abandi banyafurika muri Kongo, yiyita umututsi wa wapi? None atunzwe n'abamatse ibihugu bari baramuhaye, niyo mpamvu yishongoraga ku bantu bose, bigeze aho bamukupira. None kuko bamukupiye ati kwegera abaturage, kare kose. Hanyuma kandi muri uko kutwegera, atwegereye atuvugisha ibiswahili. Ndi umunyarwanda, ari kubwira nde? Ari kubwira ba Muhozi, ari kubwira ba cousin Muhozi, aribo bazanye iyo terme yuko ari uncle Kaga wa Kagamistan. Turabizi kuri kubwira cousin Muhozi, turabizi kuri kubwira sogokuru Museveni, turabizi kuri kubwira nuriya mu uncle wundi witwa Ruto wo muri Kenya. Exactly, turabizi. Uncle Kaga turakuzi bihagije. None uri kwivugishwa mu giswahili nta n'isoni ngo abantu bafunge imikanda ngo barwane. Nihagira umuntu umurwanirira, kandi nimuhitamo kumurwanirira kazi yenyu, ubwo nyine namwe murahanukana. Nari narabibateguje ntibizamugendekere nk'uko byagendekeye Assad muri Syria, yabuze abamurwanirira, ariko kandi banyarwandakazi bari muri politike, namwe mucunge cyane kugira ngo igihugu kitazava mu maboko y'abateroriste kijya mu yandi bateroriste. Fashe Syria nabo si shyashya na gato. Niyo mpamvu duhora dukritika abari kuri pouvoir n'abari muri opposition. Niyo mpamvu tutazemera Nyamwasa kujya kuri televiziyo kugira icyo avuka kuri Kagamistan kandi nawe ari umwicanyi. Kadukomeze twumve rero uyu mu uncle w'umwicanyi isi yose igiye kwambika ubusa.
Mwitegure kufunga mkanda.
Mwitegure sha. Ndabamenyesha abanyarwandakazi ko we amaze imyaka n'imyaka yarabyiteguye. Ariyo mpamvu yasahuye, akongera agasahura, ayo mafaranga akaba yarabiyabitse, aho yayahunitse. Mugomba kumubwira muti zana ayo wibye, ayo wahunitse tuyasangire. Ibyo kuvuga ngo funga mukanda, wowe warahunitse amafaranga, oya ntago tubyemeye. Banyarwandaka, nazana ayo yibye, ayo yahunitse, muyasangire. Kwegera umuturage, niba koko yegereye umuturage, kuki atazana amafaranga yose yibye mukayasangira mu rwego rwo kwegerana? rero ntababwire ngo mufunge mwebwe mufunge umukandara ariko we agumana ubukire bwose yasahuye abanyarwanda akajya guhisha aho yagiye kuwuhisha mubimubaze abazane sangire mufunga umukanda wayi kandi Kagame akize ari umubillionaire Crystal Ventures turabazi
Sio kufunga mkanda peke yake, ni kupigania uhaki wetu.
Aha rero ni harimo avuga ngo bagomba kurwana ngo si ugufunga umukanda gusa gusa ngo bagomba no kurwana ngo bahakira uhaki. Sinzi rero ngo uhaki ibyo ari byo, umukongore yanyumvishije ko ngo ari uburenganzira bwabo. Ibaze kujya kurwanira uburenganzira muri Kongo n'i Rwanda ntabyo mugira. Abafobaganyi b'i Rwanda nta burenganzira na bumwe mugira. Ariko ngo mugiye kujya kurwanira uburenganzira bwa hehe ryari gute? Mugiye kujya kurwanira uburenganzira bwande mu bihugu by'abandi, namwe ubwanyu i Rwanda muri abafobaganyi nta burenganzira mugira. Mutabasha no kurwanira uburenganzira bwanyu iwanyu mu gihugu cyanyu cy'u Rwanda. Ariko ngo mugiye kurwanira uburenganzira bwande hehe muri Kongo nta n'isoni. None arimo arashaka kubashora mu ntambara kugira ngo mwese mwishore mu ntambara, mumurwanire intamba ye. My people ntimubijyemo. Mumureke yitwikire mu nzu irucucu nk'ukuntu byagenze ku rucuncu. Umwami yaragiye mu gihe yari arimo arwana n'abandi Game of Thrones barimo barwanira ingoma, aragenda yitwikira mu nzu kuko nyine bari barimo barwana ari abami barwana hagati yabo. Mubareke barwane hagati yabo. Kagamistan yarariye wenyine, ntago yigeze abahaho, yarabanyaze, yarabakandagije, kandagira umuturage, kanyaga umuturage. None uyu munsi ngo kwegera umuturage, fake kwegera umuturage, ngo gufunga umukandara, no, naza nayo yasahuye mu yasangire. Abanyarwanda mugakoma amashyi. Sawa rero muhame hamwe babakandamize. None se ko mukomera amashyi ababakandamiza?
Lazima tupiganie uhaki wetu. Tuna haki ya kupigania.
Ibi rero avuga ngo lazima tupigania uhaki wetu, nibyo na understanding nyine nka ko tugomba nyine guharanira uburenganzira bwacu. Justement nyine tugomba guharanira uburenganzira bwa ni nayo mpamvu nanditse igitabo kivuga ngo know thy divine rights. Menya uburenganzira uhabwa n'ubumana bwawe. Imana East d'abord se muraharanira uburenganzira bwanyu, muranabuzi imbere yo kubuharanira. Kugira ngo ubuhoranire ugomba kuba ubuzi, utabuzi ntiwabasha no kubuharanira. Igitabo cyanjye gishya rero ni n'icyo kwigisha abantu uburenganzira. Ubu burenganzira Kagamistan avuga abantu bagomba guharanira ni bwa burenganzira bw'ikiremwa muntu bahora banahonyora. Ubu burenganzira ndimo mbigisha muri iki gitabo gishyashya ni uburenganzira umuntu adashobora guhonyora. Ni uburenganzira muhabwa n'ubumana, muhabwa n'Imana, mukura mu bumana bwanyu. Bivuga ngo uramutse uzamutse ukava mu bunyamaswa bwa Kagamistan mu bumuntu ukagera mu bumana bwawe, ugaparatika ubumana bwawe, wamenya uburenganzira uhabwa n'ubumana, nta muntu n'umwe wabasha kubukwambura. Ni ubuhe rero? Ibyo byose ndabibasobanura muri iki gitabo cyanjye gishyashya. My people, iyi misa ya nyepolitike rero nabahaye surprise kuri Sunday. Kabisa ndabona nyine live abantu batayitabiriye kubera ko nta wari ubizi. Sinzi rero niba hari ibibazo biri muri komenti, ubwo nyine chat y'uyu munsi yaba nta bibazo birimo, ubwo nyine ndahita mbakwepa mite ngenda. Sinzi nta bibazo byinshi bibe birimo, ubwo nyine ndahita nyine nanjye nigendera. Urumva se rero murakoze cyane my people, reka nanjye nsigemo komenti. Murakoze cyane. Ubwo gahunda irakomeje nyine ya education, gahunda yo kwigisha abanyamerika. Nari ngiye ntaberetse iyo platform y'uwo munyamerika nagiye kwigisha we, ubuse koko ibi ni ibiki? Ah! Nari reka nyibereke, reka nyibereke, reka nyibereke, reka nyibereke, ni iyi ngiyi y'uyu mutipe yitwa Search for Uhuru nk'uko mubibona. Hanyuma kandi nigeze no kumuhostinga kuri UNI talk show, donc ni umuntu ujya muri Afurika, ujyana abanyamerika muri Afurika, ni umuntu uri interested, ni n'umuntu wabonye citizenship, second citizenship. Rero nari ndimo mbwira abanyamerika nti kabi mwebwe musingiza Kagamistan, mwibwira ko Kagamistan atari ikibazo muri kariya karere. Ubwo yari arimo atwereka ya interview kubeshya abatamuzi, you know. Ahangaha rero ndi kubabomba personally as an author, because I have a talk show I wanted to interview. So anyways, ubwo muzajye kubyiyumvira, ntago ndi bube bakinire kuko biri no mu Cyongereza. Nagiye kwedika abanyamerika rero ndimo ndabacalenjinga babwira ni mwebwe niba mufana Kagamistan ngaho nimusubize ubwo bunyamerika bwanyu, noneho mugende mu Rwanda, kuba mu Rwanda nk'abanyarwanda, turebe uko muzasavayivinga Kagamistan. Urumva se mwamenyereye kubaho no muri freedom, turebe how long mushobora no kurastinga mu Rwanda. Mwaramenyereye kubaho muri freedom, hanyuma mukava muri Amerika mutagifite American citizenship yanyu yo kuba protectinga, mukajya muri Kagamistan kubaho nk'abanyarwanda, turebe uko mwabaho. Urumva se kubera ko nta nubwo barealizinga ko bajya muri Amerika bari protected by American citizenship. Kagamistan irabihorera bakagira fani bagahepinga ambiance, ahubwo ni nabo binjoyinga u Rwanda, mu gihe abanyarwanda bari kwicwa n'inzara, bari kwicwa no gukandamizwa. Abanyamerika bo barahari ngo ngo u Rwanda ni hatari, ni fani, barimo barivugira fani bagize mu Rwanda, barivugira abakobwa. Nigga what, come on, n'ababombarize rero kubera ko abakongore babinsabye. Urumva se kubera ko numva ari ikintu gikomeye cyane ko abakongore malgré ukuntu Kagamistan yabateshekeze ikajyana intambara iwabo, bakagera kuri level yo kutizera abanyarwanda na gato, ariko byibuze bakabona ko harimo abanyarwanda bakeya bavugisha ukuri, banabavugira, kugeza kuri level y'aho abakongore baza kunyibwirira bati yo Louise ngwino tubwirire bano banyamerika. Nuko nkavuga nti kabisa it will be my honor, nzaza mbabwire. Nagiye rero ndababwira kandi na discoverinze ko abanyamerika bakeneye ko ubwo ngitangira nzakomeza mbabwire. Urumva se kabisa nzakomeza mbabwire. Hanyuma nyine nabo babe educated, nabo bakeneye iyo education, kuko se niba bari gushaka uhuru bakazi iwacu barimo bibwira ngo baje muri uhuru, kumbi iwacu nta uhuru ihari, ubwo baba baguye muri trap, bagiye mu bucakara muri Amerika, none bari in search of uhuru, donc barashakisha kwishyira ukizana, barashakisha freedom, noneho bakibeshya bakatuyoberaho ngo bagiye mu Rwanda se ngo niho hari freedom, bagasanga baribeshye cyane. Rero nababwiye ni niba mushaka, niba ari freedom muri gushakisha, I'm so sorry, iyo freedom ntabwo iri mu Rwanda de. Ati wowe nta nubwo uri umunyarwanda kuko udasingiza Kagame. Ni dore ngaho ko Kagamistan yagejeje abanyarwanda ugomba kuba kumusingiza, ugomba kuba inkoma amashyi kugira ngo ube umunyarwanda, ube mu gihugu cyawe cy'abasekuruza bawe mu mahoro. Ugomba kubaho usingiza inkoramaraso. Dore n'ibyo ngibyo twanze. Nahise mbabwira nti dore mu byatumye tutazaho dusingiza inkoramaraso, kuko twari tubizi neza ko Kagamistan ari inkoramaraso, yamaze abantu, kandi inkotanyi zateye u Rwanda muri 90 guhera muri 90 zimara abantu. So we know ko ari abicanyi. So we decided ko tutazaba mu gihugu dusingiza inkoramaraso. Bagize kuba ari inkoramaraso, bagize kuba bashaka kubaho abantu babasingiza. ubonye byibuze iyo batasabaga abantu kubasingiza. Tuzaba impunzi, twahisemo kuba impunzi. Umunyamerika ati abanyarwanda bose i Rwanda basingiza Kagamistan. I'm like exactly, that is the problem. Aho niho ikibazo kinari, kubona mugi Rwanda mugasangayo abantu bose basingiza Kagamistan. Aho ni icyo kibazo, that is the problem. Kugeza aho muzana disikuru nk'izi ntore, iyo udasingiza Kagamistan bavuga uri umwanzi w'igihugu, ntago ari umunyarwanda, bo bari muri ndi umunyarwanda. Madness. Rero muhame hamwe, amahanga bahane, ni mwebwe mwayahaye ububasha n'ubushobozi bwo kubahana, kuko byerekana ko ariyo yari abatunze. Iyo umuntu atagutunze se yabasha gute kugupura ibiryo? Kagamistan irimo irabwira abanyarwanda ngo bafunge umukanda bagiye kwicwa n'inzara, bivuga ko bari batunzwe na bampatse ibihugu. Mwirirwaga mwishongora mwirata ku bandi, kumbe mutunzwe na bampatse ibihugu, mutunzwe no kujya gusahura no kwiba abandi banyafurika no kwica. None uyu munsi kuko isi yose yabamenye, babatamaje, babagize bavuze bati birahagije, ibyo mwibye birahagije, muti dufunge umukanda tugiye kwicwa n'inzara. Kuko mwari musanzwe mugaburirwa nande? Muba mwivuyemo ko musanzwe mugaburirwa na ibihugu, none mugiye kwicwa n'inzara kuko babakupiye. Ibaze fake panafricanist Uncle Kaga. Dore rero naho ngaho u Rwanda rugeze. Hanyuma kandi abanyarwanda karame mwidishyi bagakoma amashyi. U Rwanda rero rugiye guca mu bintu bikomeye cyane, kuko na Kagamistan yabibibwiriye. Ariko ngewe uko nababwira uko muzasurvivinga my people, philosophy, muhindure philosophy. Mbafitiye philosophy, mbafitiye umuti. Muhindure philosophy, mwibone nk'abana b'Imana, mwibone nk'abayimanayista, muve mu by'abahutu, muve mu by'abatutsi. Abatwa n'abana b'Imana bo ntago bari muri izi drama za nonsense z'abahutu n'abatutsi. Mwibone nk'abana b'Imana, mubeho tugendera mu kuri gusa, twemeranywa ko tuzajya tubwizanya ukuri gusa, kandi ko tuzajya twemera abanyakuri gusa. Twemeranywe ko mu buyobozi ushaka imfura n'inyangamugayo gusa. Mureke kumvira amabwiriza y'abakrimineri, mureke kubakurikira mu ntambara zabo, mureke kubagwa inyuma. Bariye bonyine, mubareke bahanuke bonyine. Nago mukeneye kurwana, nago mukeneye kurwana intambara zabo, mubareke bazirwane bonyine, bazigwemo bonyine. Banyarwanda, banyarwandakazi, kuva kera ibihumbi n'ibuhumbagaza abasekuruza bacu babayeho muri Rwanda. Ubundi abaturage basanzwe n'ubundi nta nubwo bivangaga muri nonsense z'ingoma. Mureke ingoma zihindura imiricyo niba zigiye guhindura imiricyo, niba zigiye guhinduka. Muzireke zihinduke, nimubyivangemo, nimujye kwica, nimujye guhohotera umuntu n'umwe. Kuko nimugira uwo muhohotera muzaba mukoze ikibi, ikibi muzaba mukoze muzagisanga imbere. Mureke Kagamistan asarura umusaruro w'ibibi yakoze. Ibi yakoze niba mutarabimufashijemo, nimunamufashe mu kubirwanirira. Intambara arwana nize. Niba rero mutaramufashije mu ntambara yarwanye, nimufashe kubyikuramo, ntago mubirimo, mubivemo, mubimurekere wenyine. My people, mumwabandone, yarabanyaze, yarabakandamije, yabahinduye abacakara. Ntababwire rero ngo tujyane mu ntambara, ngo tugomba kurwanira ibintu by'ibiswahili tutanazi. Nta burenganzira yahaye umunyarwanda. Umunyarwanda ararwanirira iki? Murashaka se kurwanira uburenganzira bwo gukomeza gukandamizwa na Kagamistan? Ubwo nibwo burenganzira mufite. Mufite uburenganzira bwo gukoma amashyi. Ubwo nibwo burenganzira mufite. Iyo ababwira ngo muharanire uburenganzira, muraharanira uburenganzira bwo gukomeza kumukoremera amashyi, nicyo ngicyo ari kubabwira. Muharanire ko nkomeza kubakandamiza. Kandi ndimo mbarimanganya ngo kwegera abaturage. Yabegereye ryari? Kandi niba mwumva mugomba kwegerana n'umwicanyi, mukamuharanira, mukamurwanirira, ubwo nyine muzahanukana nawe. Ni ibyo nababwiraga my people. Iyo niyo misa nye politike, la messe politique y'iki cyumweru. Ndabona nzajya nsoma misa buri cyumweru. Akurikireho guhazwa no gutanga amaturo. Ubundi nkavuga nti musome mu gitabo Imana yise No Thy Divine Rights na chapitre kangahe baba we my people sha abanyarwanda umva ko mwigenje narabavugutiye umuti narabize imyaka igihumbi n'igihumbagaza nsubira inyuma mu mateka kugeza naho mba connecte na civilisation egyptienne naho muzancikira niyemeje kubigisha no kubakosora shaho w'abanyarwanda kicwa ng'umusana tuvuga igiswahili noneho aho wanyarwanda ni kicwa ng'umusana rero nta kundi muhame hamwe muhanwe n'uwacu nyine kuko deja nta n'uwashobora abanyarwanda rega atari uwacu Ausares Louise Uwacu mwarimu narabahagurukiye mbavugutira umuti dore igitabo dore filozofi nzaba ndeba uko muzayikwepa naho muzayisimbukira nzaba ndeba uko muzakomeza kwigira inyamaswa karame mwidishyi kagamizi fini Kagamistan ivaho ihirima twongera tuzuka ariko tuzukira muri filozofi nshyashya ya Imana East urumva se fini les histoires ngo abahutu n'abatutsi fini les histoires ngo ndi umunyarwanda what the hell kerara hiye ni nako ka Rwanda kanyu ariko shaho u Rwanda nararusobanuye muzakunda u Rwanda kuko ukuntu u Rwanda narusobanuye ni indi version y'u Rwanda muzakunda apana uru Rwanda ruba rwagiye uru Rwanda Kagamistan yifatiye akaruhindura Kagamistan akarima ke hanyuma akarukoresha mu kujya gusahura kwica no kunyaga abandi naberetse u Rwanda spirituel n'u Rwanda ancestral u Rwanda abanyarwanda ba kera bashobora kuzakunda n'amahanga agakunda kuko murabibona neza ko yatwiciye umubano hirya no hino urumva se dukeneye kongera kubaka umubano w'u Rwanda n'abanyarwanda n'ibindi bihugu abadukikije bose iki gitabo kizadufasha cyane kongera kubaka umubano n'abadukikije bose na Afurika yose n'isi yose ibi rero ni ibintu maze imyaka narabatekereje ni solution n'inzika nari mfite kuva kera ko ngomba kuzigisha abanyarwanda my people finally rero finally abafite ibikoresho ngo QR code mushobora guscanning izo QR code mukanambwira niba zikora imwe ibajyana kuri iki gitabo justement ibajyana kuri page yanjye y'ibitabo indi ikabajyana ko mwatanga amaturo dore uyu munsi habaye na misa abashaka gutura muturaho nuko murakoze rero my people ubwo reka nshyiremo umuziki hanyuma yeah and then we shall go yeah yep it's put music and then exit alright my people rero byari byiza kabisa mwakoze kuyavuga siko kuyamara naho ubutaha ya iyo ni volume diminuée volume diminuée un peu seulement no rero my people naho ubutaha let's end the show my people mwakoze cyane ndashimira donc ubwo abo bakongore bantumiye kuri show hanyuma ndashimira n'abandi bose bari muri iyi bari muri uru mukomere cyane abatwandikira n'abatwandikira buri cyumweru nabo ndabashimira reka rero turangize show yacu byari byiza nakagaruka na next week tuzaba duhari mutwandikire abashaka ijambo duhora turi open mic ijambo ni iryanyu alright ciao All right. Ciao, ciao, ciao.